Hello everyone, welcome to GATE NPTL. Today we are going to solve a question from psychology. It's a one mark question and it's from the topic of biological and evolutionary basis of behavior. So now let's read the question. Dash in both lobes of brain are responsible for coordinating and interpretation of information as well as higher mental processing. So they are asking which part of the brain is responsible for coordination and interpretation of information and higher mental processes. So we have four options. One is Broca's area, B is Wernicke's area, C is parietal area, and D is association area. So now let's go through the characteristics and functions of this each areas. Then let's get back to the question. First we have Broca's area. So Broca's area is a specialized region which is located in the frontal lobe of the brain, typically in the left hemisphere for most of the people. So the major role of Broca's area is speech production and articulation and processing of language. So major key function is speech production, articulation and language processing. So this area helps coordinate the muscles required for speaking and also contributes to the grammatical structure of sentences. So this is why when the Broca's area is damaged, individuals may experience Broca's aphasia. So this is a condition which is called Broca's aphasia. So where they understand language but they will be having struggle to produce fluent speech because the major function of Broca's area is speech production and articulation, and when this area is affected an individual might suffer to produce fluent speech. So this is the key function of Broca's area. Coming to Wernicke's area, so this is found in the temporal lobe of the brain and it is also in the left hemisphere only. So the primary function of Wernicke's area is to comprehend the language and understanding the spoken and written words. So this is more about comprehension. Broca's area is more about articulation. This is more about comprehension. So when the Wernicke's area is damaged, there is something called Wernicke's aphasia, a condition where person can speak fluently, but their words might lack meaning. Sentence may sound grammatically correct, but often nonsensical because they are unable to comprehend the language because of aphasia, which is Wernicke's aphasia. So therefore, while Broca's area allows one to speak, Wernicke's area ensures that the speech is meaningful and understood, making both crucial for effective language use. So any one area being affected, the use of an individual's language will be affected terribly. So in this picture, if you see, so this part of the brain is Broca's area, and this part of the brain is Wernicke's area. Speech, articulation, language comprehension. So now let's move on to the parietal area. So parietal area is basically a lobe. There are four lobes in the brain, and one lobe among it is parietal lobe, which is located near the top and back of the brain. And the primary responsibility of this is to process the sensory information from different parts of the body. So this helps in interpreting sensations such as touch, temperature, pressure, pain, and spatial awareness. So it helps in interpreting the sensory information from all parts of our body. So while this lobe plays a critical role in interpreting sensory data, it does not directly handle higher mental functions such as reasoning, problem solving, or integrating abstract information across multiple lobes. So basically this is the work of association areas. So that is our question actually. So if you look at this picture, this whole yellow color region is called parietal lobe, which is involved in sensory interpretation. So the other three lobes are frontal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. So association areas. So the association areas are the extensive region located throughout both the hemisphere, not just one hemisphere. Both the hemisphere of the brain it is responsible, and they are responsible for integrating and interpreting informations from sensory and motor areas, and it helps us to allowing us for complex thoughts reasoning, learning, all the higher mental order functions can be carried out from the association areas. So basically, we can say that this acts as the brain's thinking zone, making sense of the data processed by other regions of our body. So they are central to higher mental processing and cognitive coordinations across the brain. So this association areas is basically helping us to process all the higher mental order processing and cognitive coordination across all part of our brain. That's why this is called thinking zones of our brain. So if you look at this picture, so here these are the association areas. Basically, they have highlighted this region, not any one particular hemisphere. It's spread all over in both the hemispheres. So now moving on, the question was in both lobes of the brain. So here itself, they have given both the lobes, which are responsible for coordinating and interpreting of information as well as higher mental processing. So this we saw in the association area because Broca's and Wernicke's is for just language use and parietal lobe is for sensory interpretation. The higher mental processing we studied in association area, which is also known as the thinking zone of our brain. So option D, association area, is the right answer. And for further references, you can follow this NPTEL course and this study materials also. Thank you.